Hello Sagittarius, how are you? Welcome to your June 2016 readings. I do both a love and general reading, starting with love. And I've been shuffling here for a little bit, so I think I'm about ready to go ahead and get started. These cards are my giant deck. They don't typically, or they don't fit on my table in the proper way. So I'm going to just, it's going to be the same spread, just rearranged in a little slightly different manner, just so everything fits on my little table here. So just to FYI. One more, I think, Sagittarius, for your love reading for June. Okay, here we go. Take this one here. Okay, here we go. Okay. If you can see all those cards, okay. One thing I'm really seeing here is, or that's really standing out to me specifically, is this 10 of coins in the very center of the reading. More so indicating you and your place in life at this point in time. I'm really getting a sense that you are experiencing bounty, goodness, a lot of things around you and a lot to be grateful for. I feel like maybe you are feeling very comfortable and feeling like you've attained some level of success in your life, and that there is some, like, it's like very tangible, right? Pentacles are very tangible elements. They are concrete. They are of the world. And feeling like maybe for the first time in a very long time that you have attained success and that you are on the right track. Now, this is about you, okay? I feel like, I don't remember your reading last month specifically, but I feel like this is I might be saying some of the same kind of things because of this Wheel of Fortune in reverse, that it is more about you and your place in the world and sort of how you're interacting with your partner or potential partners, people that you're dating. I'm getting a very inwardly focused and even a little bit confused vibe from these cards, okay? Ace of Wands reverse is like, I don't know why, but the word like suppressed opportunity is coming to mind. Suppressed specifically, something that maybe you are not willing to acknowledge, or maybe something that isn't quite taking hold yet. Something that you are, I'm getting a sense of avoidance, okay? That you're pulling away or you are shunning in some way opportunities that are presenting themselves to you. Because of the state that you're in, because of this comfort and feeling of bounty and happiness, and you know, friends and family and people that you love around you, and things going very, very well. Maybe you are pulling away or resisting change on some level, which is a little bit odd for you, Sagittarius, because you are an embracer of change. You know, you are about adventure and excitement and new things and new people and new places. And, you know, for you to have this sort of energy might be a little bit off-putting and might make you feel a little stagnant. There's a lot of cards of delay here, and like anti-movement. Wheel of Fortune reverse. Again, I say this every time this card comes up. For me, this is the card of universal intervention. It is the universe stepping in and taking hold of things in our life and shaping circumstances for the way that they're supposed to be. But it's not quite ready yet. Things just haven't quite set themselves up for the next step. This can be a very frustrating place for you to be, and for anybody to be, not just Sagittarius, but for anybody to be, when you might be craving or longing for change or longing for new adventure, or maybe the adventure itself is becoming dull. It is becoming mundane, okay? The coins representing the mundane, the everyday life, with comfort and security sometimes comes boredom, okay? And yet I still feel a hesitation for you to make changes, and to accept opportunities and to take in those changes in your life. Let me see if I can't come up with an example, okay? Let's say you love to travel, or your work causes you to travel a lot, okay, and you're single. And you, for a very long time, you really enjoyed it. You had a good time, and you learned a lot. You met great people, blah, 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 blah. But now that traveling and that dating scene, you know, maybe internationally you're traveling and you met a whole bunch of different people with different cultures, and it was very exciting. But now that excitement has become regular. And now you're maybe reconsidering your lifestyle choice. Maybe now you're reconsidering the way that you've chosen or the direction that you've taken. Reconsidering, but not ready to make that change, not ready to embrace opportunities that are coming into your life. Maybe you've met someone somewhere along your journey, and maybe they were just a little bit special, but nothing happened, nothing formulated, mostly probably because of you, because you're traveling in this particular example. Okay, I'm not saying this is obviously for everybody, but you are thinking of them, and they're a part of your life, they're a part of your mind, but yet you still remain distracted. You still remain, going about your course, even though that course, it's provided a lot for you, you have a lot from it, but you are starting to feel like it is becoming dull, it is becoming boring, it is becoming unexciting. Yet with the potential of an opportunity here, you still aren't ready to take that next step with this person. Do I make sense? I hope it makes sense. Just an example, okay? Obviously, if you're in a relationship and you're married and you're not traveling, that example won't really apply. But amongst all of this, there is still an underlying current of serenity, but an internal conflict of, like, very much within you. 5 of Wands reversed, conflict and competition. And, maybe your lifestyle has become about winning, has become about being the coolest person or the most wealthy person in your group or the most experienced or whatever. And maybe that's just a competition that you are having with yourself. It's all in your head. If you're dating, what's the coolest boyfriend or girlfriend that you can have, right? Is it the Russian supermodel? Is it the ultra successful CEO? Is it the hyper creative photographer from New York City that only photographs celebrities, or, whatever that is? It's a competition that you are just having with yourself. And I feel like there's some realization of that coming to light now. I'm not getting cards of clarity and, aha type of moments like, light bulb moments or anything like that. But slowly things are coming to a close. You might be resisting this change because it's what you know, because it's what you're comfortable with, it's what you have enjoyed. I mean, it's not like you haven't enjoyed yourself. It's not like you haven't fallen in love with the course that you're going. And, speaking about this in terms of a relationship and being in a relationship, I'm wondering if the satisfaction isn't weaning, isn't wearing off, and you're just undergoing a little bit of a change, or resisting a little bit of a change, or waiting for a change, waiting for something to occur, waiting for something substantial to happen and come into your life. Death in reverse, again, is a prolonged process. But I'm just trying to think, because you have a lot in your relationship. If you're in a marriage and you've been together for 25 years, you have a lot. You have a life. You have a legacy built on some level. And why would you want that to change? Why would you want to take that next step or open that next chapter when this chapter has been so wonderful, right? And I think there's just a little bit of a feeling lost. Now, one thing that I noticed when I pulled out all these cards, I am using a deck that's not as vibrant as some other decks, but there's a lot of gray in these cards, and gray is such a cool color, very cool. And even though there are no swords here, not even a single one, the gray reminds me of the swords, the suit of swords that's cold, and they're made of steel, and they're heavy, and they bring about realizations. They bring about truth. And there's also a lot of blue here, which blue is the color of truth. And I feel, though, like you are just feeling a little bit lost, where somehow everything that you have and everything that you've accomplished is somehow feeling dissatisfactory, like it's not enough, like there needs to be more in your life than what you have. I'm not saying that's good or bad. Sometimes in life, that feeling is what pushes us to get to the next step, to get to that next level. But it's also important to remember and acknowledge the blessings that we have, and to not shun the opportunities that come into our life, to not leave them behind. Maybe there's a time to take a chance on something. But I'm getting a little bit off track. I was talking about, kind of feeling lost, and maybe even feeling held back, and feeling like there is something preventing you from formulating this idea. Is it obligation to someone else? Is it obligation to a career? Is it obligation to another goal that you had in mind, and you don't want to veer off course because you are a focused person, right? What is this feeling of, almost like, the word that's coming to mind is dissipation, like things are, they're just sort of crumbling. It's like trying to hang on to water, like things just aren't concrete, and your future is not concrete, and now you are feeling like everything that you worked for, now that you have it, almost like you're realizing, well, maybe that's not what I should have been working for. Maybe I should have just either done something else or been happy, or I feel like there might be some level of regret amongst some of you in regards to a relationship. Regret that you didn't take that opportunity with someone. Regret that you didn't allow someone into your life because you were so focused on something else, so focused on creating wealth. Like, this is screaming money to me. Not saying that all of you are all about the money, but I mean, this is the 10 of coins, and a career, and it's your path, it's your goal, and finding a place in your life where you have abundance in whatever area. I'm saying money and career, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be in hobbies and experience, and it could be in, if you're, I don't know, like an Olympics figure skater, your whole world becomes about your work. It all becomes about your craft. And sometimes once you attain that goal, okay, my stupid example, once you get that gold medal in the Olympics, it's like, well, then what? Once you climb Mount Everest, then what? You've done it, so now your focus needs to go for something else. So what is that? What is that something else? And is it in a relationship? This can be a scary place to be for your partner. If you are in a relationship, it can be scary for your partner because they're not going to want to lose you. Not saying that you're going anywhere, but be aware that maybe some of your behavior and maybe some of your attitudes and the way that you're changing, it's okay to change, we all change, the way that you are evolving might affect the people around you. You have people in your life, you have friends and family, you have a relationship, or you have people that you're dating, you have brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers, and the way that this is all occurring, I think, is going to tie in with other people in some way, especially if you're in a relationship. And care must be taken, okay? Now, this is a card of, boredom and, lack of interest, but it can also be like pickiness, being picky and being choosy and remaining focused and knowing when to say no to opportunities. But just know that just because you might be feeling a little lost, or you may be feeling a little ungrounded, doesn't mean you shouldn't acknowledge the people around you, the people that love you and care about you and that have supported you to help you get here, to help you attain this. Now is not a time to disappear. Now is not a time to retreat and pull back and pull in and feel like the you against the world is coming to my mind. Like it's you against everything that you thought you wanted, and now maybe you don't need that anymore. Maybe you've come to a realization that those things weren't that important, and now is a time where maybe your focus is shifting to the area of love in a way that you've never experienced before. I hope I'm making sense. I feel like I'm not making sense. With the Hanged Man in reverse connected with the Two of Wands in reverse, they're similar in nature, but I have a feeling you are having, or you will have, difficulty trying to formulate and put together these ideas of what it is you want in your life. Like it's not quite clear. And I think over this month, remember this is just a short-term reading, it's not forever and ever, that this month just may feel regular for you. That I don't see significant dramatic change. Okay, I haven't pulled out the remainder cards, but you know, I could pull out the Tower, who knows. But at this point in time, with these 9 cards, I don't see dramatic change. And I see delays. I see a rest period for you. A period of like stagnant and stale and unexciting, which is so anti-Sagittarius, right? I mean, it's probably disconcerting for you, and it might affect you in ways that it wouldn't affect, you know, another sign, like an earth sign or something like that, where they thrive in stability and they thrive in calm. Okay, not saying that you crave drama, but you're an exciting energy, and you have a lot of energy to give. And when there's not really a place to put it, and there's not really a focus, and there's not like a goal because you've already achieved it in some way, it's like, well, okay, like you're kind of starting with a blank slate. And that blank slate can be, you know, okay, well, blank slate. Okay, well, what do I do now? And 3 of coins, almost, I mean, so similar. This is a card of creativity and communication and leverage. This is the card I call your love portfolio. You know, using your past experiences, using your past relationships, your past love situations, and using those to become better. You know, it's like a craftsman who has built many sculptures and is now using his work in order to prove that he is capable of a bigger project, of something bigger and something better. And sometimes, okay, I'm using a kind of a silly example, but an artist, right, a sculptor, who is bidding on a project, who wants a job and has to write a proposal and submit a portfolio. Sometimes that proposal process can take a long time. And I feel like on some levels you're kind of in a proposal process. You're in the writing phase. Okay, you're in production. Like it's you're not creating anything yet. You're in the planning stages. Okay, you're pitching to the universe what it is that you want. You're throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. It's kind of the impression that I'm putting a whole bunch of images in your mind, so hopefully I can get my theory across. And that's sort of the theme of where you are and what I'm seeing with this spread. So let me go ahead and pull out 3 more as I do. It's not so love focused. Sometimes it is more about us than it is about our partners. And while it may affect our partners and it may affect people around us, who you are very much dictates your love situation. So one more, we'll do one more. Okay. Actually, that top one was kind of slipping. I'll reverse. I am doing reversals again. I'm just going to keep doing it. So, Two of Pentacles reverse. The element of choice. Two of Wands, Two of Pentacles. What is... And again, reversed. It's like the juggler dropping his balls, right? You're not able, you're not capable. Like, I'm feeling a state of frustration and a state of vulnerability with you. Strength in reverse. Five of Pentacles reverse. The reality of your situation is coming to light, okay? And I said before with the grays, the clarity, we have no swords here, but yet that color of gray, and I don't really know that much about the colors, but to me, gray screams clarity and the perception of where you thought you wanted to go, which is what this is all about. Like, you set out to attain a goal. You did. You went out, you did it, you created it, okay? You found the perfect person. You found someone that you wanted to date. You found someone you wanted to spend the rest of your life with. Okay, great, you did it. You went through the process. You went through the motions. You got married. You had babies. You did everything that you said you were going to do. And then what? Okay, and I'm going to keep re-emphasizing that because it's a very strong energy that I'm getting here. And that reality that maybe everything that you had this idea about, this grandiose idea, right? That celebrity photographer in New York was supposed to be this trophy person, amazing, great, and then it ended up maybe not being so great, or it ended up being completely different than how you expected it to be. That traveling job where you got to experience the whole world, it left you feeling empty somehow, and it left you feeling, this is a very existential reading. I'm not getting the Hermit or anything like that, but it's very philosophical. And what is it in life that you want? And feeling like a little bit of disappointment that what it is you've gone through and what it is that you've been working for somehow is leaving you feeling upside down. A lot of these cards are in reverse. It's leaving you feeling a little distorted. And like, I mean, the right side, the Hanged Man is very much about seeing the world from new angles, seeing things in a different way, from new perspectives, with a more open mind. And I think that is very much what's happening here, and everything that you thought you wanted somehow is becoming something that, yeah, I think you're a little confused as to why. Why don't you feel as happy as you thought you would feel once you achieved that? The message, okay, and even the strength, right? The strength in reverse, that point of vulnerability and feeling that blank slate. The blank slate is a very vulnerable position to be in because you have a new history to write. You have a new story, a new chapter. Where are you going to go? There's actually a lot of pressure with that. And sometimes with the pressure, we retreat and we resist and we try to avoid in some way the responsibility of writing that new chapter. It can be very scary sometimes. It can be very frustrating for the people around us as well when our lack of action, especially when you are such an action-oriented person, it doesn't have to be such a negative thing. I hope you don't think that this is such a negative reading, because it's really, really not. It's regardless of how you feel about the opportunity, okay, it might not be the most welcome task, but it is an opportunity nonetheless. And while you might not embrace it and be super excited about it, it is something to be celebrated, because ultimately you are given an opportunity where maybe the materialistic goals in life and the status and, you know, having that cool boyfriend or cool girlfriend or having everything that society and our culture and whatever excuses we use, you know, whatever society says that we are supposed to do, you are given an opportunity to find the moment. One thing I think that we forget in our life is to appreciate the moments, because that is life. Every moment, every decision, every second of every single day is a new opportunity. And to be given a chance to do it over, to have that blank slate, is something that I don't think I've never done a reading like this before, ever. New beginnings is kind of a theme, right? New cycles, da, 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 da. But truly, you're starting from a place where you understand that, you know, the mundane and the popular and, you know, the goals that we're told that we should have aren't necessarily the meaning of life. That the people that we love, the people that are in our life now, are there for a reason. And we are meant to appreciate them today. We are meant to love them today. Okay? I know I kind of veered off track a little bit, but I felt very compelled to say this, because our lives sometimes just become a distraction. And, you know, here we have an old man. And this is something I've been saying a lot in my personal readings. You know, it's like the rocking chair test, where when you're 85 years old and you're sitting on your porch in your rocking chair, what is it that you want your life to be? You know, who do you want to have in your life? And what is it in life that you really want to achieve? Is it climbing Mount Everest, or is it having people around you that you love, and people that support you, and people that will celebrate you when you're done? You know, we all have a last day on this earth, and what is it that we really want on that last day? And it is definitely putting things in a new perspective. You certainly are in a place of vulnerability, and that vulnerability is meant to be embraced. It's meant to be celebrated. That blank slate, while scary and while a little bit frustrated or a little bit frustrating, truly is giving you something magical. Okay? So I think that's it for this reading. I hope I didn't confuse too much. Okay, what I want to do now is I'm going to just do your general reading. The rest of the deck here. Okay, so this is your general reading for Sagittarius. lot of yellow in this reading. Very warm, very open, very positive. Okay, very positive. What's interesting is, I love when I get, so I'm doing a reading for Sagittarius. Wands indicate fire signs. So like this is you, Queen of Wands reverse, male or female, doesn't matter. And it goes a little bit hand in hand with the last reading that I just did. And feeling and being like very accomplished, right? A queen nonetheless. But having a sense of like topsy-turvy, right? You're in reverse. Your things are just a little bit off. You're not quite feeling yourself. You're not feeling as powerful. You're not feeling as aggressive. You're not feeling as progressive as you normally are. Not your natural, outgoing, wonderful self. Like things are just a little bit strange for you this month. Just a little bit off your game, but that doesn't prevent things from happening. I'm seeing a lot of career things happening, opportunities coming in. I mean, we even had an Ace of Wands in the last reading, and here we have a page of, a Knight of Coins, and an offering, right? A new job, a new promotion, a new company, and I'm seeing someone here very, very wealthy. I mean, the King of Pentacles in my mind says it screams a man of success. It screams a man or woman. Okay, I'm doing a general reading. So someone who is very well versed in what they do. Okay, they might not be the most well-rounded people. This is someone that works very, very hard and does what they do very, very well. They're incredibly knowledgeable. They are officially experts in their field, and they have created a lot of wealth and a lot of success in their life. This offering, okay, and I feel like this is very much directed at you, okay, both of these are coming towards you. This could be a mentor, it could be a new boss, it could be a friend, it could be a figure of someone, just someone with whom you have a lot of respect, coming to you and making some type of an offering. Now, this is a general reading, it's more career, finance, life in general focused, which is good because with the strength right side up this time, your emotional side might not be totally up to par, but other areas in your life are going to go very well. You might be feeling a little bit off, things might be a little bit for you right now, but it doesn't mean you have completely alienated your true self. You are strong. The Queen of Wands is strong. She is fierce. She is a go-getter, okay? The underlying current of that is the truth. And reinforced with strength, reinforced with willpower and perseverance, you can and most likely will attain something new this month in your career field, okay, very much career oriented, or materialistically speaking. There might be some expense, 10 of coins, there might be a little bit of give and take. This is like an influx, this is an outflux. So there might be something that comes in that affects you or affects your family. It doesn't have to necessarily mean money, but it could be just a lack of something somewhere or an outward expense, whether emotional, could be financial. It could even indicate you leaving somewhere. Okay, leaving and coming. You have, something coming in, something leaving. So you changing positions, changing locations, changing. I think it's something pretty significant, and financially there's a lot of indication here that it does have, some financial things coming in. Okay, now that's just sort of the beginning part of it. these cards here, we have three majors. These cards here don't really speak to they can speak to career. I'm going to speak to them more generically. Okay. The Hierophant reversed. Okay. This is something that can indicate something bigger than you. And I'm kind of even getting a sense that this person, okay, might be an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, but more of a business person, a successful person in your life, may be associated with some type of organization, okay, some type of a representative of something larger, right? A corporation, a church, a government agency, something like that. I'm getting a sense that, let me think here for just a moment. Like these two are connected somehow. There might be an opportunity for you, you might make a choice on some level, perhaps maybe a blind choice. Okay, maybe the universe hasn't quite revealed things to you yet. Again, we even have that Wheel of Fortune from the last reading coming to play, where things aren't quite to the surface yet. You might make some preemptive decisions based on emotion. Okay, you might make some, I'm not going to call them rash, and I'm not going to call them, not thought out decisions. I'm not saying you're acting impulsively. In fact, probably not. Queen of Wands, a little bit more on the cautious side, I would say, for me, in my opinion. But based on emotion, right? Something that's going to make you more happy. Are you willing to start fresh? Are you willing to start new, maybe with someone, a potential business partner, or come on board with some organization, or leave some organization, or something in search of more happiness, in search of more love in your life? Are you and not romantic love, but love of life, love of what you do, following your passion, that type of thing, and using the experience of things that you've done in the past, right? This can also be a little bit of a portfolio. I call it your emotional battle scars. It's everything you've been through. It's everything that's made you who you are, and you are proud, rightfully so. You should be. And this might be something that you haven't quite admitted to yourself yet. Like maybe there's something that you've had an inkling to do, whether it's harvesting some hobby, whether it's, starting a new business, okay? And I'm getting a sense that you're willing to give up income. You're willing to give up this idea, almost the idea that we talked about. It's like the blank slate. Here we go. It's like almost the same reading. In order, giving something up, giving your placement up for new endeavors. And I'm getting a sense that this actually is also you, not only the idea of a new opportunity coming in, but also you yourself. Excuse me, maybe bringing something to the table for this person as well. It's almost like it's cyclical. He brings something to you, you bring something to him. And there might even be some indication of leaving an establishment, having it been in reverse, in search and in hopes of finding something more prominent, in hopes of finding something more special that provides you more emotional satisfaction. You're not quite ready. I don't think things are entirely in place yet. You haven't had this, like I said before, this aha moment, this moment of clarity and understanding, and okay, this is what I meant to do. But I think deep down somewhere, there might be an inkling and a little nudge and a little like almost like an annoyance, right? Something that is very present on a very underlying part of your subconscious. And you know, the high priestess is very much an indication of like secret places, your subconscious, the lack of awareness. You know, she is the keeper of truth, and it is the following your gut. Okay, what does your gut tell you? For some of you, I feel like an opportunity or a sacrifice of some level is going to be made in your material life, in your job, your career, in your finances, in your, you know, something on the more material side is going to be sacrificed in search and hopes of something more promising. And there is someone in your life, okay, this person he's a fighter. Okay, he wears his armor under his robes. He is a true leader. Okay, he's not a boss. He is a leader. He can lead the troops. He has made his way through the trenches. Okay, he works in the trenches and is guised by the glamour of what he has attained, but he is a hard worker, and I say he, could be a she, and has a lot to bring to the table for you. So if there is an idea of a partnership or a new business, something like that, while I'm not seeing action being taken, I think this is really just the beginning steps for you, really just the beginning steps and getting the ball rolling. I don't think you're in a place yet right now to make bold decisions, okay? But I do think you're in a place on a more philosophical level that you want something more satisfying, okay? So let's go ahead and, okay. Oh, those are some interesting cards. You can never expect anything with tarot, that's for sure. It's promising that this Ten of Swords is in reverse. Because if there is an area of your life that affects you, an area in your life that you are just done. Maybe, okay, maybe it is your job. Maybe it is some people in your life that are, or maybe it's some part of your culture, or there's some, I'm getting the word judgment, okay, not because of the judgment card, but because there's some projection onto you, okay, of what you should be. But some area of your life that you've just had it, you're done, and it's time to make that change, okay? It's very consistent with the message of Judgment reverse and the High Priestess, even the Hierophant reverse. Something has been building up. Okay, it's been piling up, and probably is the reason why this Queen of Wands is in reverse, feeling not quite right, not quite your usual magical, sparkly self. And that there is some element of rehabilitation, okay? Getting yourself back up, rebuilding yourself and finding happiness and finding joy in some place, you know, in this more toxic place, black. Okay, black is a very dark color. It absorbs light and energy, our light, our energy. It steals from us. And now you're taking it back. Now you are realizing, now you are taking your power and you are saying, no more, I'm not allowing this to happen. I'm done, I'm fed up, I am going to make a change. Now, let me think on these two cards a little bit because these were not expected. Knight of Swords, reverse, is a warning, reminder, not to be so rash, okay? Don't just follow your heart. Don't just act impulsively, okay? The Queen of Cups, the keeper of your heart, the keeper of what you love, the keeper of things that are dear to you, that are close to you. Don't do for the sake of doing, okay? Think. Sagittarius, you're the thinkers. Think, okay? Pay attention. You are the keeper of your heart. You are the keeper of your passion. You are responsible for these trophies, okay? I call this the emotional trophy case, right? You are responsible for the things that make you happy. And sometimes when that responsibility is placed so heavily on our shoulders, sometimes we do make changes just for the sake of making change without thinking things through thoroughly. There could be some financial loss, there could be some implications in a material way, okay, things that affect our lifestyle, things that affect our being and our, you know, our state. And this is something, you know, it is a big power, it is a big influence, it is something that is important. And, you know, sometimes before you just run away from it, it is important to consider the consequences of what happens when you turn your back on it. So just be aware, and don't allow your emotions to get the best of you. Queen of Cups reversed, that the emotions are running very deep. And I can see that. Ten of Swords reverse, Queen of Wands reverse. There are many emotions at play here. And even though this is a general reading, sometimes, you know, our emotions creep in and they distract us from reality. They distract us from thinking clearly, from thinking logically. There's a lot of logic with these pentacles here, but once we start getting into the cups and the High Priestess, we have more intangible and, you know, unexplainable phenomena. You know, why do these things occur? Why do we feel this way? Why is our gut telling us something? You know, I feel like you're feeling very emotionally charged right now. And instead of these representing other people, it is your energy. It is indicative of, you know, what these swords represent. It is a warning or an advice, an advisory energy, to just be cautious, to not act rashly, and to be aware, not to say, you know, suppress or ignore your emotions, because that's impossible. But to just be aware and to realize that you are not your emotions. If this opportunity sounds fantastic and it is something that you've been wanting for a long time, it's something that you feel will provide happiness in your life, don't just go quit your job. Make sure things are in the right place. Make sure your ducks are in a row. Make sure you have your shit together, and make sure you're doing the right thing for you. And you might not quite know what that is yet. So especially if you haven't defined it yet and you aren't sure of what it is, and it's not a tangible concept and there's not an official plan in place, just be sure, look out for yourself. Just look out for yourself and be cautious of the decisions that you're making and the implications of those choices. So, a lot of action, a lot of movement in this area of your life. I'm not saying a lot of change, but a lot of stirring the pot. Okay, there's a lot of stirring the pot right now. And I imagine within the next couple months, you're going to have a completely different kind of reading that is very much about change and new opportunities and new beginnings and things like that. Right now, not so much. But yeah, that's it. So thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm super happy to do this, and I'll see you next month. Thanks.